I'm Suzanne Cantra, founder of Techlicious.com. If you're thinking about buying a computer for your child, you'll have noticed even at very young ages, my 1-year-old loves to come over and bang on the keyboard, but it's really when they are capable of writing themselves, reading, and engaging in activities that don't require you sitting over their shoulder and helping them through the entire process that they're ready. And that's going to be around 2nd or 3rd grade. Well, there are really only 2 products on the marketplace right now. There is a Dell Inspiron that's a collaboration with Nickelodeon, and then there's this Disney NetPal that's made by Asus. And the reason why these are children's computers is the fact that there is content preloaded on there that is geared to kids. They also put on a couple of safety features in terms of the Disney product that's going to be preventing them from going out onto the web to places that you don't approve. And for the Dell product, it's going to be giving you a way of being able to track that computer should they leave it behind someplace. A computer in and of itself is capable of running all sorts of programs. And so as your child progresses, they'll be able to load on those programs that cater to their particular hobbies or interests. So they may start out playing games that you play with them and exploratory reading types of activities, and then maybe they go on to actually editing photos and videos or playing more interesting games where they spend more time interacting with characters.
That's fun!
So at 1 through 3, you're going to be sitting there with your child and you're going to have to work with them and point things out and actually maneuver the mouse and operate the keyboard, and so of course that's not going to be appropriate for them to have their own computer at that point. And then when they get into pre-K, there's going to be a lot more out there. There are lots of little games, there are books that you can sit there and have read to them, and so there's more content out there. And then once they're ready to communicate with people through email or just going online to places like Webkins, which is an online social community, that is where you're starting to get into the point where they may be able to spend some time by themselves operating the computer, and that's where you're thinking about, okay, this is going to be a computer for this child. There are 2 different ways that you can operate a computer. One is what's called administrator mode, which means that you can do all sorts of things like install programs and make changes to files that might actually change the underlying way that the computer works. And there's regular mode. You always want to make sure that when you set up your child's profile, they do not have access to the administrative functions. And if you do that, that minimizes your risk in terms of them doing something that's going to be catastrophic for the PC. When you're talking about the kids' netbooks, because they have that additional content, they have some extra parental controls, you're talking around $350. Now, when you want to go up and you want to have a computer that's going to last you for a few years and have the ability to run things like photo editing and some basic games, you're looking at about $550. The basic operation of the computer is something that every parent is going to be familiar with. Your children will obviously be interested in other types of programs and doing things that you might not be familiar with. And it's really important to research it, find out what they're actually asking to be able to do with the computer before you let them go ahead and do that. If you want more information on how to work with your kids with computers, you can always check out Techlicious.com.